How did I get this shot? Let's find out. Not a bad day for a walk. What am I doing? Well, thought I'd explain how I got that lunar eclipse photo that so many people seem to like. But videoing it while I was doing it wouldn't have worked because it was like 2 AM in the morning. No lights. Very difficult. So I thought I'd bring you up here during the day so you could actually see. I'm only about 5k from where I live. I'm on the side of Mount Dandenong, going to a place called Burke's Lookout, which looks west towards Melbourne. There's a nice clear view. Luckily the night of the eclipse, beautifully clear, not a cloud for the whole time. So there's been a bit of rain up here since the other night, a few puddles, starting to get a bit of a view. Actually up in there you can see the TV towers. There's 3 of them on top of Mount Dandenong. Burke's Lookout is just below them. So this is where we are. Don't know if you can see it on this little camera. Melbourne right on the horizon. See the tall buildings, bit hazy. Just to the left of that, Port Phillip Bay starts. Can't really see it, but that's where all the ships come into Port Melbourne. And then there's lots of roads leading from Melbourne out to the east where we are, all the different suburbs. So you can see lots of factories down there, houses, factories, bit of farmland, big acreages just down here at the foot of Mount Dandenong. Quarry over there. So this is where I shot the lunar eclipse. It's a pretty well-known spot because apart from the view here, there's a launching ramp. They launch themselves off here and I don't know where they end up. So the camera I was using, gear's not that important, but sometimes you have to choose gear to suit the situation. I needed a long lens. So I've got the Tamron 18-300 here on my XE4. So just how can you go about capturing the moon in a sequence like that? Well, I was hoping there'd be some setting in the camera where you could just do multiple exposures into one image, you know, it'd be nice and easy. However, even if there was, that wouldn't work because the settings you need for when the moon is full are completely different from when it's in eclipse. When I started shooting, I was at, for the full moon, 2,000th of a second, ISO 200. When the moon was in eclipse, I was down to half a second, ISO 6,400. Those settings have to change as the eclipse happens. So you have to take individual photos, then put them all together later. The other issue, the wind was howling. And even though I had a good sturdy tripod, the lens was extended, had the lens hood on top of the tripod, and you could see the image on the screen shaking away with the wind. So first I took the hood off because I thought maybe that was catching the wind. Still some micro jitters happening in the end I had to collapse the tripod down to one length of its leg, so it was nice and low and sturdier on the ground, and continue photographing like that. The other issue I had to deal with was other people. There was one other guy up here with a telescope, and I think he was talking to his phone. He was getting photos through that. But there was about a dozen young people up here trying to capture the whole thing with their phones. And they were walking all around and they had torches on and stuff. And so I had to deal with all that extra light and everything as well. But they're just what happens, you know. You're in a public place, the public are there. 4 hours of shooting to get multiple images, and then go back home and process them, which I'll show you next. So to get this final image with all the moon phases and the city background there, I have to put all the photos together. So each of these moons in its different phase, taken from individual shots, and I have to cut and paste like this. So I'd select an image, go view, 100%. I might edit it a little bit, up the clarity a touch, and then that's the raw file, move it to a JPEG, get the ellipse tool, make it about the size, might have to move it sideways a bit. So that moon is selected, copy that, go back to this photo, paste it in, and then of course have to set the size. So resize it so that it's the same as the others, and then put it wherever it belongs. So you do that with each individual moon phase, and then arrange them on the screen in a nice sweep, and then you save it. So there you go, 4 hours of shooting out in the wild, come home, a couple of hours of editing, put it all together, and save it as a TIFF for printing, because it is available for print. Actually, I'll put a link in the description below. You can actually buy this photo as an art print, a photo print, canvas, acrylic, metal, whatever you want. So link in the description. I had a bit of fun. It was one of those type of photos on my bucket list. Now I've done it, I'm really happy with what I got. The weather was fantastic for it, and I'll move on to try and get the next thing on my bucket list. Anyway, pick up your camera, take it for a walk, and have some fun. Bye.